Hi, everyone. I'm Youngjoo Cho. I'm based in Seoul for now, and I had recently a solo show at Songeun, as she said. Um, my general interest is about women's life, especially Korean women's life, and women's body images, how it's treated by the society, or how it relates to women's identity. Yeah. So my last show at Songeun is all about women. So hair, labor, or um, the body image, and my own experience as well. So the first work is two-channel video works, um, also live performances. So in the basement, I had this installation, channel installation like this, but the performance was happened in two places at Songeun. One was like this in the exhibition space. The other one was in the parking lot. You can't really see this. So I had two performances at the same time in the same building, but different floors. So I had four performers. They were performing in different spaces. And then we shared its performance images via um, live broadcast. So if you are in the exhibition space, you see the screen, like the image of the other performances image on the screen. So you can imagine the performers, they can interact each other through the screen image. Also, the audience can move from one space to the other space. So you can see this all equipment and me who was directing all those like live editing. So everything was on live. But I edited this video works as like two channel videos. This one is about migrants, Korean women in Western society. So you will see four performers. They were uh, playing the roles from different um, eras in different cities. For example, the first performer with like a blue sky sweater, she was playing a role of Korean nurse in Berlin of 70s. And then the other one with a big hat, she was playing of one Korean unknown artist in Paris of 80s, etc. So they all count in this space at Songeun, and they are like, yeah, just cross each other, just meet there spontaneously. I will show you like a short trailer. You maybe you can see some image of audience as well. So I really try to um, mm, to see how the image of the audience uh, gives some another image on the video work. I mean, in the white cube situation, the performance allows always the audience walking through or leaving, you know, whatever they want. So sometimes they interrupt the live performance, but I started to accept as an important image of my work as well. So it was included of this question as well. Uh, Okay. Another project which is related to the previous project as well. So it's same system. Like I was using a live broadcast system and two performances at the same time, but in the same building, um, and four performers. But in this case, I had dancers. The previous work was actors, but this work, uh, dancers. So this image was very important for me. It shows why I choose this media, like a live broadcast, because this image from 80s, you know, 이산가족을 찾습니다. Yeah, reunification of family members in Korea because of this Korean War. You know, we were all separated, and then this KBS of Korean national TV station, they organized this program for almost 6 months, as I remember it, and every day, like 8 hours and 10 hours, we had live show on the TV. So I was very small, but I remember clearly. And every day I watched it, and they were trying to find family members through the TV stations. As we didn't have mobile phone that time, we were using like uh, this camera, you know, live broadcast, then you can confirm that the person uh, is my family member or not, you know, through the TV. And then they were talking on the phone. So it's really like our video call phone system. So I really like this because it shows really the liveness of different performances all of the Korea at that time, and they could share everything through this television monitor. So I took this system. This is also two channel videos from that system, and the performers, they were making movements which were influenced by several TV medias which shows Korean disasters. For example, this reunification of family members, or yeah, Seoul ferry sinking disaster, or Sampung department store, yeah, disaster collapse. So I collected all images or footages from that disaster, mainly uh, news program shows, um, and I asked to my dancers to move uh, certain gestures, like for example this gesture, and they were repeating this gesture until they just falls down on the floor because they lose all the energy because they are repeating this. Yeah, but this gesture is from like Seoul ferry sinking disaster as well. And as I told you, two separated spaces. We had two performances and we shared images on the screen. So I show you some video. dancers, they look very emotional, but it's not. I really separated my motivation and then the movements of dancers. So I asked just to repeat certain movements until they just lose all energy. So I didn't want to the emotions to the audience. I just wanted to focus on the movements of women's body and question how it comes from where, like our like history, Korean history, or disasters, or for example, my grandma was doing very similar gestures when she was like sad or something. She was just falling down on the floor and crying, and maybe I just learn it, through this environment. So yeah, this was a little bit like some years ago. I made it, and then boom, um, I show you first. Oh yes. This is me. I'm always awkward to watch this video. Um, um, that time I filmed my body. It was right after my giving birth. So the body has some traces from, that happening. um, Actually, this dance is from my parenting note. I noted for 30 months about my baby's things like changing diapers and what time I feeding her, yeah, breastfeeding and everything like bath time and eating time, what she ate, everything. And I noted it, and then so it becomes the score of my dance and the piano, what you heard, the piano sonata. Um, so actually, this is the original parenting note what I marked, and this is very important. I made several projects out of this, note. So as I'm an artist and as I have a little baby, I have to earn. So I just made little symbols, signs on the note instead of writing because didn't have time. So and and also I have to share this information with my babysitter. Yeah, because I had to work in my studio for 8 hours a day. So when I came back home, we shared what happened during the day. So but afterwards I realized it's not just about my baby's life, it's about my labor, also my babysitter's labor. If you see it, I just woke up every 2 hours and I worked for my baby. And sometimes some notes shows the relationship between me and my baby or the babysitter and my baby as well. So it tells a lot of things I realized. So as I told you, it was used for the sonata, piano sonata score. I was working with my um, composer. Yeah, she transformed this notes to musical score. So, and also I was working with a choreographer who transformed it to the dance as well, what I danced. Yeah. And some the other artists, they made it as a carpet. So it's like a 30 meters long carpet. And if you see all, yeah, signs on it. Yeah. So as you realize, I was very interested in this hair labor and what is this and then what's the relationship between caregiver and receiver. So since was working with my parenting note, I made three different performances and films which were based on this care labor or also the relationship between giver and receiver. So this work, um, it's a performance, but I made a film as well. You will see. So you can see the performance first. It was not my intention, but one of the performer was pregnant, like 9 months pregnant, but she really wanted to play. The full performers, they just decided one part of the body district. So one closed eyes, one didn't use the hands, and so on. And then they were playing like a survivor game on the sponge insulation. So once you falls down, then you died. So through this journey, they have to help each other or they have to compete sometimes each other. So it was the performance and I made, even the title is different, but I made a film based on this performance. You will see the difference. Yeah. This is the installation view. It's same work, but the film version means you don't have the real audience in that film. But some audiences who are performers, I mean, intentionally I put them as a viewer. Yeah, another work, the same structure, like I'm still using the sponge installations, but they are uh, giving massage service to the participants. Okay. Work, I I wanted to see how the passive body and active body relates each other, like, yeah, the care system or caring is always, something you give or something you receive, but, with these different bodies, like passive and active. So it's the last piece of this series. It's called caring exercise. Actually, the audience in the exhibition space, they can follow this exercise.
오른손을 맞잡고 왼손은 관자놀이 위에 둡니다. 다리 듭니다. 마주보고 손잡습니다. 속으로 숨을 셉니다.
So in this video, you have three different groups.
서로 바라봅니다.
This exercise is duo exercise. So you have to have your partner and you have to sometimes support your partner or sometimes you have to help your partner as well. I made a lot of workshops with this exercise recently with teenagers, for example, with unable people, like aged people. It was the last piece of the show. I really would like to show the whole video. It takes maybe 3-4 minutes. Yeah. They are all like migrants, women from South Asia or China, Russia, and they are all living now in Korea, and they are singing their own name. So when the lyrics is your name, they become solo of the song. So this is the exhibition view, and we had also live performances at the opening of my show. Yes. And there is an archive room where I presented my recent book, and you also have here. Yeah. So it was the show, which was called Cadenza. Yeah. And if we have time, maybe I would like to show, yeah, okay, 2 or 3 more works. This is also video work, but also like performance I have. For dance, yeah, female performers. This is, yeah. This is about the contact, body contact, which could be happened in domestic situation. So sometimes very sexual, or sometimes very violent. So it brings some memories of each of you. Actually, it's from my personal experience, like the contact with my baby. And through this experience, I realized there is a lot of things we have not talked on the table, but it exists, like very taboo to talk. So I wanted to bring it out through this work. This work is another work which was made with this parenting note. I worked with another composer to make 3 movements of ensemble, and I worked with musicians. And this work it could be an installation with this tube. So okay, like this, and then on the tube you have speakers. You can listen to the music, and then you see the videos, recorded videos, and I show you the video.
Talking about the 3 movements. So which are the 3 movements in the music?
Yeah, 3 movements. As I told you, I wrote this parenting note for 30 months. So the first movement is about, the early period of my baby. And second and third, just the composer decided which part she makes as a music. Yeah. And so we were decided to use this air sound skill, like through this instrument. We don't make the like a melody, but we just make like a breath sounds. Yeah. So in the exhibition situation, you can listen to the music through this tube, but in this live performance situation, you have 4 players. Yeah. And maybe, yeah, the last work. I made it like long time ago when I was 20 something. And when I was living in Paris, I just wear someone's t-shirt for one night and slept in my bed. And next morning, I took my portrait, wearing someone's t-shirt. And yeah, this was the project, but the process was very funny. I prepared always new t-shirts in my bag for 3 months or 4 months. And if I meet somebody in a cafe, in a party, French guys always trying to flirt with Asian girl. Yeah. And yeah. But I prepared my t-shirt, new t-shirts, and then I tried to flirt with these guys and then asked to borrow his t-shirt for one night. And then so I took, one t-shirt from one guy and then replaced new t-shirt to him. And I brought it to my bed and then, slept with it. The next day, I left a trace, as a photo and washed it and gave it back to the guy. So all the process was, recorded and a lot of text messages. Yeah, it was very similar to flirting process as well. But I was the leader of this all flirting, things. Yeah. It was my early work, but still very relates to my actual work too. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We can open to the Q&A.